Now we've got to transfer those lines, those marks up on the wall. Here's my little swivel out bracket assembly that's going to be bolted up against the wall. You've got to look at that on the directions, make sure you know what the top and bottom is. And I know this is the bottom, and I can flip that over. And see there's screw holes here, one there, and one up here. And that's how this is going to be bolted up to the wall. Right along the stud, right in the middle of the stud. Okay? So I look at this and I know the bottom is 69 3/8, so I just hold my tape measure. What did I say it was? Let's see here. 69 3/8, I guess it was. I can hold this to the bottom, 69 3/8. I just want to know where that next mark is. So it looks like it's up. Actually, I can read the tape at 69 3/8 and then go up to 70 1/4, 70 1/4, or I could measure this up from 69 3/8 up to 7/8. I could mark the next two holes, or I could just have the bottom here. I can hold that up and mark it, but I want this to go nice and level, nice and plumb up against the wall too. So, I mean, there's different ways you can do it, you know, but the main thing is we're going to bolt this right up to the center of that stud. We got to find the center of the stud too, so we're not done with our measurements yet. I went ahead and marked this and all that, but I'm just going to kind of go through the motions with you. I went to 69 3/8 and I put myself a mark there. Then I had to figure out about where the center of that stud was, and I came over and put a mark there. And then I had to start probing with some nails. And that's what these two little nail marks were, you know. And I didn't want to make that too close to where the hole was, so I just started tapping in here to make sure I could hit the stud. I wanted to make sure once I hit the stud, I went over at a little bit of an angle this way, and then I started over here and went that way, so I could know about where the edge of the outside edge of the stud is here and over there. Because the last thing I want is if I put the nail straight in, if I hit the stud, okay, there's the stud, no problem. Well, you've got to make sure you drill your holes in the center of that stud. You don't want to be on the edge of a stud and then put a mark up there and say, oh, that's fine, the stud's 1.5 inches wide. What's the problem? You got to find the middle. You need to find the middle of the stud, and that's what I did. And I put a mark down there, and I came up from the bottom, and well, first I put the mark. And then I got my level up here and I ran that. I wanted to make sure I was going up nice and plumb, and I put a pencil mark on there and all that. And I put a pencil line there. And I also had to measure the bracket because I didn't want the pencil line to go up above the bracket, because that wouldn't show, you know, that would show on the wall when I got all done. Then I transferred my whole pattern up there and did all that. I got a scratch all like this. I put it right in the middle there, tapped on there to get my little marks, and I drilled holes there. You have to, before you drill those holes, see, those holes are for these lag bolts. Got a lag bolt that goes in there, and you've got to do a pilot hole in there first. So I just looked at the directions and got the corresponding drill bit size that I needed, and then I drilled that, because the last thing you want is to get a drill bit, you know, you think you know which one it is, you put one too big in there, you drill all 3 of your holes, and now these, once you put these in, they spin or something. Or, I mean, I'd rather have a smaller hole first and try one. If it's too hard, take it out, do another pilot hole. But you know, the same pilot hole, but a bigger drill bit. But I didn't do that this time because I read the directions, looked at there, and it told me which drill bit size to use. So that's what I did. And now we're ready for the next step. Before I take my bracket up there, got that drilled. I just wanted to put this in here. I wanted to make sure it was right. So I got my ratchet set, and I got to go through the sheetrock, and it almost seems like they put 2 layers of sheetrock here or something, because it was thicker than 1/2 inch. Usually your sheetrock is either 1/2 inch or 5/8 on the wall, and this might have been 2 layers for some reason. But anyways, the bolts are very long, and so I'm just going to get a hole. Get this down in there all the way. Just so when I get ready to hold the bracket up there, these bolts are going to go in nice and easy. Okay? Gotta have a ratchet set for this. You don't need a real expensive ratchet set, just a cheapo one. You do that on all your holes. That way it's going to go in nice and easy. Make sure you don't want to hit a knot or something and mess with it as you're trying to hold the bracket up there, and the bracket slides and scratches your wall and all that. You know what I mean? Okay. Have I showed you something so far that you don't think you can do? You can do this. Come on. I know you can do this. You just follow these steps. I don't want you being afraid of your project. You've never done this before, that's okay. I think you still can do it. If you don't think you can do it, you can get a friend over to look at the video and show it to him, and he can help you. All kinds of things you can do to do your project. I don't want you spending an arm and a leg to pay somebody to come over here and put this TV up for you, because you know what? Once you put up one TV, you're going to say, oh, I want to do that down in the den. I want to do that in the spare bedroom, in the family room, whatever. Most people have more than one TV, and nowadays people are putting them up on the walls. If you can do one, you can do all of them.